There's enough depth there.
Not to
Probably
regardless.
like
It doesn't have to be talking about I could just say one or two parcels.
Well, I just wanted to, I haven't done it, but if we had it ready to go, you're like, oh, sorry, I will experience this minimum. Yeah, so I'll make myself some notes. Run that past her.
Nobody signed it.
And I'm not sure.
Well, that sounds good.
I figured we could talk for like.
No.
Join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call for the record. Mayor Lindsay.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Green.
Here.
Councilor Howe.
Here.
Councilor Weeks.
Here.
And Councilor Curry.
Here.
We have a quorum. You may proceed.
At this time, I'd ask for an approval of the agenda with the addition of Jeff Gilmore to our director reports.
Making a motion to approve the agenda, adding Jeff Gilmore to director reports.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would you please get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving into director reports. I'm sorry, announcements and proclamations by the council. Anybody have anything for us this evening? Okay, we'll move now into director reports. First up this evening is our planning and zoning director, Marcus Yeesh.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Start with numbers real quick. Year to date, this year, we have issued 120 building permits so far, which is 30% higher than the same time period last year, even though a lot of people seem to feel like that's backing off. There might be certain reasons that some building would be backing off in some areas. It appears that that's not happening here, which is good. And then specifically, new single-family homes, we've issued 30 building permits for that year to date this year. In the same time period last year, that was at 22, so we're up 36% in that regard. So it's pretty healthy by the numbers. Looking forward, one of the things we're anticipating in the near future is having to rezone a couple of parcels that are adjacent to the ski area, so that they can accommodate the new lift that just went in. We need to make sure, basically for insurance purposes, that everything's covered in the same way in that, on that new lift, that it would be everywhere else, and also at that new ticket office right there. Don't anticipate any problems doing that. It seems to be pretty straightforward, but we'll have to talk about that again in the near future. Lastly, another change happening very soon is due to filling a couple of staff vacancies, I will be able to be in the planning and zoning office full-time now, so we'll be able to go back to planning and zoning being accessible to the community 5 days a week instead of just 3+ appointments, which is sort of what we've been doing for a month and a half. So that'll be good. Be available to everybody more hours a week. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next up is our police chief, Jerry Hogarth.
Madam Clerk. Good evening, Mayor, Council, Manager, Clerk, and guests. Before you, you have the June 2026 monthly recap. You will notice June is in the center column. I also have a comparison in the first column to May of this year, and in the far right column is June of 2025. Running pretty much on track with what we have been doing. Total calls were 161 for June. with 78 incident reports. The incident reports are slightly up by 8. Warrants remain steady at 2. There were 3 arrests. There were 2 crash reports taken, which is down from June of 25, which was 4. Traffic citations issued were 21. Non-traffic citations were 5. And in other business, court collections for June were $1,147, not 11,000. There's too many sevens in that, I apologize. So $1,147. Advertising for the 2 police officer vacancies, I'm happy to report today we do have a signed letter for the second applicant. So we have now filled both of those positions, and they will be starting next month in August. We already know it, but balloons over Angel Fire was a very large weekend with very minimal problems. Very happy to report on that as well. And with that, I would stand for any questions. And thank you.
Okay, and then Airport Director Jeff Gilmer.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, Evening Council, Clerk Strickland, and Manager Weir, thank you for adding me back in. I apologize for the miscommunication. Wanted to give you a quick update. It was important for tonight because I want to let you know that we did receive this past week a letter from the FAA stating that we are expecting to hear yes or no by the end of August. So at least we finally have a target date. That's really good news. Subsequent to that, we had several conversations with the EDO and some other folks that are excited to push this forward. We had, I want to stop too and also compliment Manager Weir and Director Rinden because we had on Monday, I believe, a request from the FAA for 3 years of audited village, all the accounts for the village. Well, that, we thought we had sent that, I'm pretty sure we did, but for some reason they decided they wanted it again. And I took that request as coming from Washington. Literally, in 15 minutes, all of that information was back in the FAA's hands in Fort Worth. A half an hour did not pass because of this team. I sat there and I went, I don't think I ever seen anything like this before. The team literally got together and boom, it was done. And we got a confirmation within the half hour saying thank you for getting this to us and we'll get it out. So that's an applause to this great team. Otherwise, sales out there are crazy right now in both jet and aviation fuel. We finally have checks coming in for rentals in the hangar since we actually have a hangar now that we can access. The only, I don't really call it a negative, but the only concern right now is we do not have a finished door. It is operating, but the insulation and the metal work that needs to be completed inside, we don't have an ETA on that yet. So that's really up to the county. All I cared about, hey, please make sure I have a hangar door. And afternoons, thunderstorms like this, it's kind of nice to know it's not wide open. That's pretty much all I have. I do not have any update on the raise grant. And Manager Weir, I don't know if you've heard anything in the last 24 hours, but anyhow, that's where we stand with that. So I'm finished, and thank you again, and I stand for any questions, please.
Thank you for jumping in.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Any committee reports this evening? If not, we'll move into old business. I'd like to open item A for discussion as to approve an increase in the financial budget by $241,500 in FY27. So the village can subscribe to OpenGov and pay for the transition from Tyler Encode. Director Rendon.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Council, Manager Weir, and Clerk. As we previously discussed, this is a wedge into the FY27 budget. It's not only for the replacement ERP, but it's also to pay for the professional services in order to do a proper migration from data from one system to the other. This is going to require us running 2 systems in parallel for the extent of a full year because they do it in segments by projects. So in addition to that, we've also had to take into consideration that in order to ensure that the migration is a successful one, that we're gonna have to be fully engaged in it. It's gonna be a very heavy lift for a very long time. And so since we're kind of, the way we're structured right now, we're kind of at capacity, we've got some solutions that we've been kicking around that we think are gonna allow us to do this successfully, and I'll be presenting those at the next council meeting whenever I get to talk to you all. But for now, the $241,500 is what we're looking for the finance budgets, that we can go ahead and get the project started. And I stand for any questions.
Mayor, Council, I do want to say that we've held off on this decision because of some financial concerns, and those financial concerns have been resolved and should not impact this decision.
Questions or comments? I'd ask for a motion.
Make a motion on item A, old business, approve an increase in the financial budget by $241,500 in fiscal year '27, so the village can subscribe to OpenGov and pay for the transition from Tyler Ingram.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on old business item A. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, moving into new business. I'd like to open item A for discussion, and that's to approve resolution 2026-58, approve the submittal of an application for the 2026-2027 FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant for emergency generators. Ms. Gouin.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Before you, you have a grant agreement that we have with FEMA. The grant total is $2,420,503.62. The federal share is $1,815,377. Our match required would be $605,125.92. I did submit a match request from the New Mexico. They have a federal match program, so I did already put in for a match from New Mexico. It's only allowed for federal programs. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we are granted that $605,000. That program did open up July 1, and I submitted it within 2 weeks. This hazard mitigation is for 13 generators in our water system. This is in case of a catastrophic event, a fire event. Usually, if Kit Carson were to shut down the grid, this way the emergency generators would kick in, and we'd still have water to our pumps and wells, etc. And I'll stand for any questions you may have.
Does this help with our insurance as well?
I have no idea. I'm sure it would because it's emergency mitigation and they'd be.
Mr. Mayor, Council, so it won't help directly with our insurance, but it will help with our ISO rating. And it will be a component of the ISO rating because part of that is a determination of how much water can be pumped to an event. And so indirectly, it will help homeowners with their insurance, not so much the village with its insurance.
Is this the complete, all boosters? All of the ones, I know Director Epler's been wanting to do this for a while, but it's the full water
So I think
system?
it's on page 6, the list of,
Yeah, all the way through booster 9.
yeah, those 13 items part of the water system are what's being requested for.
It is, Mr. Mayor, Council, it is effectively all of our boosters.
Any questions or discussion? Great. Okay, that's for a motion on item A.
Make a motion on item A, approving resolution 2026-58, approve the submittal of an application for the 2026-2027 FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant for emergency generators.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on new business item A. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Thank you,
Motion
gentlemen.
passed.
Thank you. Moving on to item B. I'd like to open discussion to approve the appointment of Brian Lindsay to the Public Improvement District Board of Directors. Mr. Knightley.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Manager Weir, Clerk Strickland. Paul Cassidy has been the president of the PID since I believe Mr. Young resigned. That was before I was seated on the pit. But Mr. Cassidy is a great deal of experience that we're gonna lose. New Mexico State Board of Finance, retired managing director at RBC Capital Markets. So he is stepping down. The board has unanimously agreed to recommend to you all that Brian Lindsay, who has been ex officio for the last year, be seated, which means we need another ex officio if you approve Mr. Lindsay's appointment. You know, Mr. Lindsay, of course, brings a different experience, well-needed experience compared to Mr. Cassidy, but we do need some financial experience on the board because we are experiencing some financial issues that I think everyone's aware of that are hopefully getting better, but perhaps not at the rate we need. So we do need another financial director, ex officio or otherwise, need to draw on that experience. Stand for any questions.
Questions or comments? Thank you, Mr. Manley. There's nothing further, I'd ask for a motion on item B.
Make a motion on item B, approving the appointment of Brian Lindsay to the Public Improvement District Board of Directors.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item B. Mayor Pro Tem Crane.
Aye.
Counselor Howe.
Aye.
Counselor Weeks.
Aye.
And Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Moving on to item C, open discussion to approve fortified structures, J&H proposal agreement with the National Veterans Wellness and Healing Center. Mr. Davis.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, council, manager, and clerk, you have in front of you a contract to sign. You saw the proposal last meeting, and the proposal itself hasn't changed. We recommend to sign this petition with exception of Exhibit B, page 6, item 2, general layout. It looks like they left in some words from over at Red River. So it mentions if we could just cross out primary closet, 2 additional bedrooms and an additional bathroom out of that first sentence under item 2, then it'll all match. Really doesn't change anything, so just recommend that, with that amendment signing as requested. Any questions?
Just so we can make the motion correctly, could you clarify, sorry, I'm on page 6, general layout, so it is where from the first sentence that needs to be struck?
After it says, in the first sentence, will apply yet floor plan includes a living area, kitchenette, hall, utility area, coat area, primary bedroom, primary bathroom, and then cross out primary closet, 2 additional bedrooms, and an additional bathroom, and leave and the closets at the end. Thank you. Any other questions?
So, Mr. Morris, we're good to go. If I could get a motion.
So I will make a motion on item C to approve fortified structures JH proposal agreement with the Nashville Veterans Wellness and Healing Center with one modification on page 6 of 9, number 2, the very first sentence, the language after primary bedrooms to include primary closets, 2 additional bathrooms, and an additional bedroom is struck, leaving an additional closets. Everything else to remain the same.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item C. Counselor Crane.
Aye.
And excuse me, that was Mayor Pro Tem Crane. Counselor Howe.
Aye.
Counselor Weeks.
Aye.
And Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate that a ton.
All right, moving on to item D. I'd like to open discussion to approve resolution 2026-59, comprehensive plan for the village of Vanderbilt. Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Manager Weir, Clerk Strickland. You have a new colored folder. It's blue. And The Planning and Zoning Committee Commission has looked at the context of this draft in thoroughness on June 3rd, June 30th, and also last week on the 22nd. At their June 30th meeting, they recommended that we posted the last set of drafts to the website at least a minimum of 10 days. And we did that on the 6th of July, and it's still posted. Just some acknowledgements about this plan. It's, I think, different from other comprehensive plans where you start with a comp plan committee and you work your way out. In Angel Fire, you've got a lot of working committees, and it was really a matter of coordinating and liaisons with those committees to come up with these strategies, goals, and objectives. At the beginning, as a list of acknowledgements of all the members of the committee, members who worked on this in the past, you can acknowledge Councilmember Humbert with his work on this as a liaison with the comp plan, which is, I think, standard is what you'll see with comp plans moving forward in final draft. A couple of items I just want to point out. Since it was posted on July the 6th, we had one set of comments from the public. Those sets of comments are at the end of tab 7, the front of tab 8, it's in the solid waste section, and it's really syntax. There was no substantive recommendation to change a goal or objective. It was syntax, and P&Z looked at this on Wednesday and recommended to move forward with that being an updated revision to bring forward to you today. Again, I think what sets this plan different from your previous plans is there's actually an acknowledgement, and I think what makes Angel Fire unique is the relationship you have as a village with the resort and all the other stakeholders in town. There's an acknowledgement of Girl Scouts of New Mexico with their 500-acre ranch for camping, the resort and the amenities they provide, plus what the village is doing, and the new accomplishments that they've done, that you've done with Mountain View Plaza, the master plan at Allen Fields, trying to coordinate the Frank Young alignment, workforce housing. There's a lot that's in this that didn't exist in 2008. You have a Parks and Rec department that wasn't even around in 2008. I will point out that I had some difficulty, if you go to the end of tab 1, is the executive summary, and there's a matrix of all the goals and strategies for each chapter listed in a matrix style. There's a tab on the right margin that I've been trying to get to move so that it goes with each chapter so that they're not all centered and it's easier to read. I have been unsuccessful getting that to move. I had to reword some of those chapters today just to get it formatted to present to you tonight. I know there's a resolution for your consideration. Should you choose to move this forward for adoption, I'd recommend that the language include, subject to these revisions that are listed in solid waste, the formatting and revisions for the executive summary and the matrix. Stand for any questions you may have.
I just know how much work's gone into this, and I want to thank Santos and of course all the committee members and for getting us to this point. If there's no further questions or comments, I'd ask for a motion.
Make a motion on item D to approve resolution 2026-59, comprehensive plan for the village of Angel Fire.
If you could, subject to the revisions and format updates.
Sure. So I'll make a motion to approve item D, resolution 2026-59, comprehensive plan for the village of Angel Fire, inclusive of the changes to the solid waste and the executive summary formatting presented here this evening.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item D. Mayor Pro Tem Crane.
Aye.
Counselor Howell.
Aye.
Counselor Lee.
Aye.
And Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This has been fun work, and I'll take this formatting. You will not get a folder. It will actually be a bound copy once I get the formatting set, and I'll deliver it to the village manager's office, 10 copies.
I was just gonna ask if you'll commit to do the next one in 20 years, just out of curiosity.
Maybe my boys will. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully it's not 20 years, but hopefully it's going to be a year. Exactly. So So it's good to get this, this update came from what, 2008?
Correct.
Much needed. Thank you, sir. Moving on to item E, open discussion to approve service addendum and notice to proceed with sustainability partners for the acquisition of 17 new housing units for workforce housing. Manager Weir. Yeah, do we have a guest speaker?
So what, would you like to say anything, or? No?
I'm happy to be here,
Okay.
and I'm excited to continue our work together.
Great.
Hoping.
Thank you for being here. Manager Weir.
So Mayor, Council, we have been working over the last year and a half, maybe longer, with sustainability partners to try and figure out the financing of workforce housing, since the appropriations that we did, or the grant, I should say, that we did receive, and we couldn't have done it without the grant, but it wasn't enough to complete the project. And so we needed to look at an outside source to partner with in order to complete workforce housing. We determined that Sustainability Partners was the partner to work with for many reasons. But one, the methodology in which they invest in projects like this, the same as they invested with us in our meter project, does not hurt our balance sheet. It's not treated as debt service like it would if we took a loan, et cetera. So it's really a kind of a win-win scenario. This is a long-term relationship with Sustainability Partners, not only for the meters, but for workforce housing. They've been very flexible in this. Originally, we asked them to do 30 units, and then it became 24 units, and then it became 17 units. And they, never complained or anything. They just adjusted their numbers to match what we were asking for. And so we're looking forward to going into business with them. And this is the agreement that is gonna allow us to start the process of the manufacturing of those next 17 units. And our goal is to have them installed and occupiable no later than the 1st of November.
Any questions or comments?
Just the comment, I know workforce housing, we've already set the rent rates via resolution for these, and there was kind of a middle ground picked. I know it's not specifically spelled out in here, but we still feel comfortable that number that we've set via resolution.
Absolutely.
Great.
Are these two versions similar to the ones we put in?
Yes, they are. They're very similar. Some of the numbers were massaged a little bit, but, oh, you mean the two versions of units?
Yeah, there's 17.
So they're not like the first 6. They're similar to the first 6, but they're upgraded in quality. The first 6 that we purchased ourselves did not have some of the same feature sets. This has a higher load wall, load bearing. These units have a higher R value in the walls and the floor and the ceiling. And so they're actually a higher quality than our first 6 units, but the floor plans are very similar.
They should match the 7 that are in production right now.
They should match the 7 that should be installed around the 1st of October, that we're paying for.
And when do we anticipate these being delivered and installed?
I'm sorry?
When do we anticipate these 17 being delivered and
So, they're already in production, they're in line to be produced. The 7 that we have are supposed to be done either at the end of this week or sometime next week, and then they start on these 17.
You said October, I think you meant August. The 7's gonna be set by the end of August.
They're gonna be done, but we still have to do all of the site work. And so, and then once they're installed, they have to be connected, there's, all of that work, and there has to be stem walls, and then there has to be grading. So even though we should have the units by mid-August, they won't be ready to be occupied until the 1st of October.
1st of October.
Well, the 7 are 1st of October that we're buying. These 17 will be the 1st of November. That's correct.
So will this allow us then the ability, since we're moving forward, once we start the pad sites, the dirt work excavation for the 7, we're just gonna go and do the 7.
We've already started on the 17
Got it.
pad sites. Now, the foundations work has not started
Right.
yet. But that should be happening soon. The foundation work will be able to just progress, because we're just now wrapping up the foundation work. We actually have to put 2 units in. We've discovered that we're gonna have to move which sites we're gonna do, because the pads are gonna interfere with the installation of a unit. So instead of having them all right next, we had to spread them out a little bit, and we just discovered that last week. But yeah, they're just gonna keep going now. If this gets approved, it's the same vendor doing all the work,
Yeah.
so they'll just keep going.
Okay. Any other discussion? That's for a motion.
Make a motion on item E, approve service addendum and notice to proceed with sustainability partners for the acquisition of 17 new housing units for workforce housing.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item E. Mayor Pro Tem Crane.
Aye.
Counselor Howard.
Aye.
Counselor Wicks.
Aye.
And Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passes. Yay.
Glad you could be here for that.
I'm always happy to be here, thank you.
Moving on to item F, I'd like to open discussion to approve a quote and agreement with Sustainability Partners for installation of water meters to replace non-functioning meters. Manager Weir.
Mayor and council, as you know, when we first started replacing the meters, we had an estimate of approximately 200 meters that needed to be totally replaced, the cans, everything. Once we got into the project, we found that number was more like 500. And so we've already had before you an adjustment to that agreement. What this is in that adjustment, we agreed to pay for a little less than 300 of the additional cans and replacement. The meters were provided already, but we had to do the work and the installation, because in the initial quote, we just underestimated how many needed to be fully replaced, redug, new cans, new connections, and everything. Sustainability Partners has hired a new vendor, UMS. They've been very successful, very productive. This project would be done by now if we would have had them in the beginning, to be frank. And since we do have some money in the budget, in the Go Bond budget, and we are gonna have to replace some of these ourselves, we looked at a couple of options. One was to hire an outside vendor to come in and do the digging for us, and then have our staff actually set the cans and set the meters. The other option was to hire UMS to go ahead and do that work, and they, like I said, I don't know how many they've done, about 100 or so.
Right, over that, and we're anticipating to finish ahead of schedule.
So they've already done some, and they've just been very successful in their work. I mean, our guys were struggling with the old vendor and this vendor. There's like almost no issues reported. So what we decided to do was to actually contract UMS through Sustainability Partners. So this effectively is an addendum to Sustainability Partners, so that they could amend their contract with UMS, and then we'll be paying Sustainability Partners instead of us either paying UMS directly or paying another contractor to come put these in. So it is something that this council had previously agreed to do. It's just that we feel that it's gonna be more efficient to go through Sustainability Partners to have our portion of those meters installed, and paying Sustainability Partners for those meters to be installed. And they've agreed to do it at no additional cost.
Will these will be the last of the meters, will this last, no?
No, we don't have enough money to do all the meters this year. We were planning on doing about 50 meters if we used our own staff. And what is this number that we're doing, do you remember?
100.
That's 100, I think. I thought it was 120 or something. But we have, we'll probably have another 150 meters that are gonna need to be totally replaced. It's just right now, we don't have the cash for it. And plus, we believe these can all be done at the rate that UMS is working. These can all be done before our no dig kicks in. So then we'll have the winter to set and figure out what we're gonna do next summer to finish the rest.
Any other questions or discussion? No one asked for a motion on item F.
Make a motion on item F, approve quote and agreement with Sustainability Partners for installation of water meters to replace non-functioning meters.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item F. Mayor Pro Tem Crane.
Aye.
Counselor Howe.
Aye.
Counselor Weeks.
Aye.
And Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Moving on to item G. Discussion to approve resolution 2026-60 as various budget adjustment requests.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Monroe?
Mr. Mayor, the G and H are actually both going to be for bars, and so if please council, I'll just cover both at the same time. So basically what you're looking at in both cases, it's revenues. We went back and did an adjustment. As we earn more than we anticipate, we go in and we do the increase. That way what we're submitting to the state matches what we're actually earning. The second, what was the second one? The second one, we had receivables on the books, and those have since been converted into revenues. And so when the receivables became revenues, again, we had to lift the revenue budget in order to match that. So that's in essence what happened.
Questions? Not asked for a motion on item G.
I make a motion on item G, approving resolution 2026-60, various bars.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item G. Mayor Pro Tem Crane.
Aye.
Counselor Howe.
Aye.
Counselor Weeks.
Aye.
And Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
I could please get a motion on item H.
Make a motion on item H, approving resolution 2026-61, various bars.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item H. Mayor Pro Tem Crane.
Aye.
Counselor Howe.
Aye.
Counselor Weeks.
Aye.
And Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Final this evening is our manager's report.
Mr. Mayor, Council, just a couple of items. First of all, I wanted to recognize the village. We were honored by NOAA for being our 25th year of being an official reporting station for weather here at the Village of Angel Fire. So we've been happy to participate with NOAA, and it'll become an even bigger deal as we take ownership of the airport, but we did get that recognition. I wanted that to be noted. The other thing is I wanted to give the council an update on our RHOV process. So as you may be aware, we hired an engineering firm to come out and do a traffic study on the practicality of having off-road vehicles driving down 434 in order to access Forest Road 76. Much as we have in Red River and much as there is in Rio Doso, similar allowances have been made. The engineer completed the study. I think Chief Hogriff can speak to the fact that the study was favorable on this, and right now the state DOT is working with our engineering firms going through the study just to make sure that there's nothing that the engineering firm missed. The engineering firm feels pretty confident. By the way, Chief Hogriff was able to acquire a recommendation for this from our district forester, so which I think is a big deal. And you know, that was excellent work, Chief Hogriff. And so we feel pretty confident, but it's still in the hands of DOT, and we feel that we should be able to, we have the evidence now, and we have the support now, and we're hoping that that'll come to conclusion soon.
Anything further?
And that's it.
All right, appreciate everybody coming. This meeting is adjourned.